Well, welcome to Wrexham. The Champions League at the Racecourse Ground, the oldest international stadium in the world. Isn't this fantastic for Wrexham as a club? And indeed, a brilliant occasion as the two teams come out here for the first of a double header, which we'll be bringing to you live on Wrexham's YouTube channel. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC, and it is an absolute honour to be commentating on this match. Glentoran versus Riga, the champions of Northern Ireland against the champions of Latvia, with Wrexham, champions of Wales, I won't get used to saying that, but I'm not complaining, against Punic, the champions of Armenia, to come at 7 o'clock local time. As the teams line up, this is going to be quite an occasion. It's a convoluted system that gets you through to the group stages of the Champions League. Of course, this is the first preliminary round, a group of 4. But after these games today, which are semi-finals, on Saturday there will be a final for the winners, also a third-place game for the runners-up. And only the winners of the final will get through to the next stage, a second preliminary round, which will have exactly the same format. And then after that, there will be an old-fashioned traditional qualifying round, home and away, between two teams. And then that one side that comes from all that tortuous route will be in the Champions League group stages. It'll be a hell of an ask for Wrexham in our first season in Europe for the women. The men, of course, as I'm sure I'll mention later, have a remarkable history in Europe to go through. But it's brilliant to be welcoming these terrific teams to the racecourse, which, as I said, oldest international stadium in the world, and it's a joy to have international football back here. As Riga have their pre-match huddle and Glentoran pose for a pre-match photo, a little look at the teams. Now, Glentoran, I mean, quite frankly, their fixture congestion has been farcical in recent weeks, and there really hasn't been any attempt by the Northern Irish Football League to make amends for the fact they're coming here to play back-to-back games Wednesday to Saturday. But there's a settled team. I'm particularly looking forward to seeing in action Gracie Conway, who has had some nice finishes in recent matches. They're, of course, on equal top of the league. It's halfway through the season, a summer season in Northern Ireland. All the other teams are starting their seasons today. Equal top of the game in hand, that is, having drawn away to Linfield, the side who are ahead of them in their last match. But like I said, they've been cramming so many games in. Absolutely crazy to expect them to be able to adapt. As for Riga, well, Riga won the Latvian league at an absolute canter, and they dominate that particular competition. Having said that, like Glentoran and indeed Punic, they haven't been past this stage before. And so, well, it's a real opportunity for one of these 4 teams to get somewhere. Wrexham tonight then, the home team, although the Wrexham supporters group are brilliantly vocal, a number of them are here to watch this first match. And it will be Riga kicking towards the Kop end, which of course is under construction, wearing pink and white horizontal stripes. Glentoran in green, kicking towards the Tech end. The referee is from Norway, Fatima Zangane, and away we go. So, who can impose themselves first in this opening point of the most prestigious cup competition in women's football? It's certainly a scrappy start as Glentoran battle, and good work there from Kelly Compton to just break things up. An early opportunity. Well, looked like a potential foul. Ref doesn't give it, and there's danger here as Riga burst forwards. Well, the miss hit the air shot was fortunate for Glentoran, but just a little indication of the aggressive pace that Kumbabrina brings up front for Riga. So Glentoran lined up for a short goal kick. Good strength up front by Conway. You can get in touch with me using the hashtag AskUCL, that's ASKUCL, on Twitter and Blue Sky, and I'll endeavour to respond no matter what you want to know about the game or anything else you fancy asking me about. In Wrexham's game against Man United on Saturday, I ended up talking about paintings in the Prada in Madrid, so, you know, I need questions either to distract me or make me keep my focus. This is Keenan with the throw. And Glentoran are getting tight, and well, both sides really pressing quite hard. Not much space in these early stages. Both teams looking to get early tackles in. It's Keenan again. And again, the referee allows physical contact. It's a battling start. Keenan, that's not the worst idea, but it's ushered out comfortably by Rahimova, who asks for a free kick for the nudge in the back. It was only a nudge, and frankly, good luck with this ref, because he seems to be letting a hell of a lot go. Keenan wins that back well. It's unfortunate for Carr. Free kick in the end goes Riga's way. I can tell you straight away that the feedback from within the Wrexham club is that Glentoran have been an absolute joy to have as guests, as there's an offside flag up there. Mustafa went too early. But yeah, Glentoran have really been a joy to have here. I was chatting to their supporters beforehand as well, and they're very eager to get behind their team. Of course, we're also really enjoying a little bit of a trip to North Wales. There's a real battle this at the moment, isn't it? Neither side allowing any room whatsoever. That's a good touch. And a nice ball down the flank. Look, just offside though. Yeah, it is. That is unlucky. Vance with a good left foot of hers, feeding it down the flank. Conway was after it. Fractionally offside. There wasn't much in it. But Vance exploits that freedom to come forwards with Compton holding in front of the defence. And of course, Glentoran fans watching her know full well she's good on set pieces. At the moment, the only real opportunity of the game fell to Bremer, who is here now on the ball, working it back into her own half. Chance to switch, perhaps, with Steinberger. But the pass is aimed towards her. Vance covers. Good pressure. And the goal kick goes Glentoran's way. Well, unusually, it's not sweltering hot here. It's been unbelievably hot in Wrexham the last couple of weeks. Proper heat wave. It's nice, but it's cooled off. That's a great take. Referee again, well, waited for a bit, did in the end give the free kick. Mia Moore did well. So Keenan with the free kick. She leaves it for the skipper for, you know, it's sloppy that, and Carl's got a bit of space. Pass through the middle was always a bit of a hit and hope, in all honesty. It's tidied up well though. Here is Foy's moving down the left-hand side. Good vision by Foy. Vance will chase. Won't get there first though. But the ball dies and it's only just about handled. Ramanova getting it behind for the goal kick. Bremer once more allowed space to turn. Steinberger again is the target, but she's not going to be able to keep that in. Again, offside. More carelessly that time. The first one that was given against her was a mistimed run and she just went too soon. But on that occasion, no, Conway was standing in an offside position. Keenan away, Vance helps it on. Here's Moore once more. Foy drilling it. Conway isolated up front though. Good, strong defensive work. But equally at the other end, Keenan stepping up. Had a couple of questions coming already on the Ask UCL hashtag, which I'll get you in a moment. That's a bit of a high challenge on Foy. Free kick on the edge of the box. It's a couple of Ask Wrexham veterans. I should explain to those of you who are not Wrexham fans that the Ask Wrexham hashtag is something which we've had a great deal of joy with. You know, I'm not trying to take the credit, but I did invent it. No, it's brilliant for managing to get interaction during matches, as here we see the 223s up against each other. Ball cleared in the end. Bremer very busy early on. That's tidily done. And that's a good little pass into space and the ball over the top. Now that is onside. Luckily for Glentoran, just too much on it, but the defensive line there looked a little bit ragged. And looking at recent matches, there have been a few occasions when that's been the case with Glentoran. And it just got a little bit caught out by balls over the top and diagonals, and the defensive line maybe isn't quite as clean as it should be. Another throw-in goes Glentoran's way. Caldwell getting a good challenge. McKinney with the throw. It's movement over the top again. Conway always willing to win those channels, making herself available. That looks like a bit of a shirt pull referee allows. I think it might have been 6 of one, half dozen of the other. And as a consequence, skipper Gaugere is able to get away with it. Good challenge. Vance stepping in well. This is a pleasingly even match. But here's a threat as Cato helps it on. Flag stays down. Danger here. Tremendous tackle by McKinney. Crucial challenge to stop the shot from coming in. Still there's danger. Good cross, but firm header clear. That's what a defensive midfielder's brought in to do, and it was a good decisive piece of work by Crompton. Still the pressure continues though. Decent cross in again, this time Foy stepping in well. 3 times Glentoran have defended that one edge of the area, and that's good for Moore. Referee thought was playing advantage then, frankly. It looked to me like Moore was clipped, but no foul given. Glentoran dropping off and Moore dropping down on the right hand side when they haven't got the ball, as the ref rightly doesn't give that either. She's consistent, to be fair. All that, which did look more like a coming together, to be fair. Ref's doing a good job, I would say, on this. Taketa's laid it back into midfield. And a high ball from Rakhimova, again, dealt with really well. Glentoran's defence starting strongly, but they're under the first real spell of proper pressure here. Another cross coming in, good take. McKinnon got across well. Takahira bursting down that left-hand side, has got a couple of decent balls in. McKinnon, just distance on it, comes off the defender, but it will be kept in. Steinberger again. Throw goes Glentoran's way. Ask Wrexham, wheelie Wrexham fans saying scrappy match so far. It is, but there's a good quality about it, I would say. Both sides working so hard to counter press. There's so little space. It's got to open up later in the game. Now here's Vance's first chance to use that left foot. As I said, good on set pieces. Signals. That's into a tempting area. Ooh, dangerous shout for handball. Hooked in, good save by the keeper. There was a shout for handball. Looked like chest to me. But when it dropped loose, it was hooked in well by Caldwell. Good hands. Moore's battling to try and win it back on the edge there. He doesn't quite manage it. Caldwell struck that well. Was, I think, the chest. Now here's Bremer at the other end, looking dangerous down the left-hand side, taking on McKeaney again. McKeaney's had a great start down that right side. That little stop-start to beat her now. Ooh, that was an interesting idea. Intercepted, though, and the game suddenly looks stretched for the first time. Threat here as Takama takes on and gets the ball in. Luckily for Glentoran, Vance there to cover when the pullback is too deep. Well, wheelie Wrexham fan on Ask UCL said, it's scrappy, it's opened up now for you. You've turned the game. Oh, that's a nice little piece of skill. Again, it's a good cross coming in from Takahira. She looks very dangerous down that left-hand side. She's bypassed that time, and as a result, well, it's a foul. Yep, goes Glentoran's way. They'll be glad of that because Takahira down the left is putting great balls in. Glentoran defending the box so well. But can they do something to stop her? You know, playing this system allows them maybe to double up on her, and they need to try and do that because Takahira is tearing down there and has real quality on her left foot. McKeaney's been doing really well with individual battles, but of course, you know, as a defensive unit, you don't want your defenders isolated and having to win those individual battles. You want to be able to cover those situations so a defender doesn't have to do that bit extra. Now, this is nicely worked. Opportunity perhaps more on the right hand side. There's a great crosser taking on Takahira, and Takahira blocked the path in, but corner given. Gotta be honest, it deceived me. I didn't see the deflection. Yeah, Takahira got touch tight, got a touch. So Alexander Torkashova, who made that fine catch from Caldwell's effort, organising a defence. Glentoran with two in the box, in the goal mouth, right in the goal mouth, and a crowd around the penalty spot. It'll be an in-swinger. Keeper's coming. Keeper doesn't get there. Oh, and a stretch. Caldwell nearly there. Foul given in the end in favour of the goalkeeper, Torkashova. Now, I used to be a goalkeeper, so I usually stick up for goalies in these situations, but as we see what happens, to me, it looked more like she'd misjudged. The ball was dropping closer to the goal than she thought, and she stepped a bit too far out and just misjudged it in a crowd. Couldn't get to the ball properly. Glentoran maybe a little unfortunate there. Nothing came of it anyway. Still no score, but that's a lovely pass by Carter on the outside. Conway just showed a bit too much of it to the defender. And the skipper Galguera's really looking good right side, the centre back. She's tracking Conway when she runs down that channel. She may be tempted to try the other channel. Now, here's Mustafa. Nice layoff. Kato. And again, it's Takahira bursting forwards, works outside this time. It's a good cover. Loughran getting across and just no nonsense, launching it in where the fans are in the bottom tier. Expecting, of course, more Platons in for the second match, naturally, with the home team involved. Here is Takahira. Kato. Oi. That's a nice little piece of work again. They've worked out overload. Couldn't get the ball to Takahira at time. But that's the problem, isn't it? Working those little triangles on the left. They're just managing to isolate Glentoran's defenders on that right side. Takahira across with the right foot, and it's decent. Foy again does well. Driven shot deflected. Important deflection. Crompton's getting on the end of everything. Got a touch on it. Corner. So we've seen Glentoran trying to ask questions from a set piece. Looking at some Riga fans singing and clapping in front of their Latvian flag on the far side from us. And, oh, they've gone full pre-planned. Everybody splitting as they charge in from beyond the 6-yard box. McKinnon goes up well. Bremer clattered into it. Referee, I think, says it's a foul, but you can carry on because the ball's in your hands. Well done, McKinnon, who's done really well on 2 high balls into the box coming into a crowd. That was a good take by the keeper. Good safe hands. Nah, that's great. Oh, great vision. Not quite the right execution by Conway, looking for Vance. Bitani's won the throw, 10 yards into the Glentoran half. Will take it herself. Bremer, good touch, but that's a hopeful one. McKinnon takes it. No fears of a dodgy bounce on this pitch. It was laid brand new last season, the first time we've had one of these hybrid stitched pitches, and had a bit of a refresh over the summer, and it's a heck of a surface. Now threat once more, and this time a chance for the shot once again. This time Caldwell getting the block in. Bremer will feed it back. Lots of time to measure the ball in again. Not the best touch by Mustafa though, and Foy is forthright. That's neatly done and worked inside by Mitari. Good challenge. Carr coming back. Kerr again. That's well worked. More now as an option in the middle. Just well read, slightly under hit, and Takahira was so sharp. She looks a genuine class act on that left-hand side, doesn't she? Rahimova feeding it inside. Takata to you-know-who. That's a poor cross by her, though. Not the best clearance either. Bremer goes down. Doesn't bother asking for the foul. Oh, he puts it back in. Oh, that's great work. Now then, the pace in the end of Burgomaster allows her to at least hold a player off and draw the foul, but that was great scrapping after the interception. Crompton really showing some heart. It's a good spell this, isn't it, for Riga? They're probing and, like I said, working those little overloads. They're getting to the edge of Glentoran's box pretty easily. Takahira again looking to pierce the defence. Bremer, good strength. Important foot in that by Caldwell. Kerr knocking it forwards. Conway, good strength, holding it up. Does get the free kick. Referee likes to have a good think about these. Great work that by Conway. Needed that, Glentoran. Been a tough spell this, hasn't it, with Riga asking questions. They need a little bit of relief, don't they, from this spell of pressure. Mark James live on Ask UCL says, no questions. Oh, just great to hear your voice from halfway around the globe. All the Aussie listeners, from all the Aussie listeners and viewers. On your mind. Cheers. Oh man, right, so that comes nothing. Thank you very much. That was very kind of you. Here we go with Glentoran feeding it forwards. Caldwell's done that well. Chance for the cross isn't taken. Loughran back round the corner. Loughran again. This is good from Glentoran, just working it around, forcing Riga to sit in there mid-block. Oh, disappointing pass there though. Can Riga break? Bremer up front is isolated and she's put the ball out of play. Great work again. Foy is battling like heck. This is sadly the 1 year anniversary of the death of absolute Wrexham greats Joey Jones, who was such a battler for Wrexham, Wales, Liverpool, Chelsea. There's a great mural, those of you who aren't from Wrexham, of him on the Turf pub, which is just to the right of me in the ground. And yeah, as a battling defender and number 3, he would have loved that piece of work then by Jessica Foy, and indeed the combative style that she's already been showing. She really is fighting hard for her team. Good header clear by Keenan. Kurt as well. Draws the foul. I guess I should point out when I say Oi, Minami Oi is one of Riga's Japanese players. That looks offside, is offside. That was another tight one though. They're looking to drop those balls down the left-hand side, and on that occasion Vance went a bit too soon, but it's worth persevering with, I reckon. Yeah, Oi is one of the Japanese players, 5 in the starting lineup for Riga. I'm not just shouting at people on the gantry. It has happened, but here's Steenberger again. That's asking too much of Bremer. So still goalless. This game would go to extra time and penalties if required. And although Riga have maybe put more pressure on, or just have put more pressure on, it's actually Glentoran who have looked more dangerous with that chance from the set piece, which was well held by Tokashova. That wasn't a fancy bit of pronunciation at the end, it was a hiccup. I believe Latvian pronunciation is that the end of name hiccup is optional. Takahira works it out wide to the left-hand side. It's a cute little touch around the corner from Sato, but it's intercepted well again. Now then, is there a chance here for Vance to break? Once again, you've got runners in the channels. Conway's, oh no, well, she was on the through the centre, and she was really working hard to stay on side as the Riga side stepped up, and ultimately Vance couldn't find more. He was covering a heck of a lot of ground, trying to deceive Riga, running in out to in from a starting position on the right when Glentoran haven't got the ball, and trying to make up a second striker and evade detection. It's good movement. Good work again by Conway. Moore's done really well to get at Conway now. Can she get the shot off? Right foot! Not quite enough strength on it. Good effort. And again, Glentoran, the side who were asking the questions, no question in terms of handling shots. It's not McKinnon who's the busier. Tokashova's second save to her right. Bremer. Oh, it's a good take. She's got an option down to the right. Steinberger doesn't get it because once more Foy is there. Oh, ball slips out of Steinberger's hands and the ref gives a foul throw into Glentoran. That's a deft touch by Kern. She manages to keep possession. Yes, so on the hashtag Ask UCL, like I said, please, by all means, get in touch. I did mention there have been a few interesting messages from some old pals of Ask Wrexham. So let's have a quick look for a couple. Yeah, Chip Pate asks, Belfast and Wrexham are separated just by the Irish Sea. But how easy is it for fans to get from Glentoran to the Kairas? Well, not tough at all, because apart from the fact, well, you can get a plane from Belfast to Liverpool, so it's really not a bad journey at all. Oh, now that's an idea. Great ball. Vance got 3 players, 4 attacking the far post. Just couldn't get enough on it. And a lucky touch. Wow, means that Conway couldn't get to it. She commits a foul. That pass was brilliant vision in the middle of the pitch, but was just too much on it, and Vance couldn't quite get to it and have time to do anything but drill it first time, and therefore couldn't quite get the direction. Takahira does well. Again, though, it's such diligent work by McKinney, stopping the ball from getting forwards. They have to start again. Takata works it to the right-hand side. Rahimova's lost it. And again, Conway will chase. Looks onside this time. Very isolated. Support starting to arrive now. She's done extremely well. Kernow has got players in support, including Vance, who takes a touch. 2 in the box to aim for. It's got a nice shape on it. Keeper's coming. Oh, and he gets half a touch on it. She had no control over who that landed to. Glentoran keep it up. Under hit pass, though, unlucky. Glentoran looking sharp when they're coming forwards. And while Riga looked very good on the ball and are moving that ball well, manipulating it nicely, Glentoran looking very good on the transition. Here's danger for them now, though. Mitani. Again, McKinney with a challenge. Shout for offside, but I don't think it was. Bremer. Can't get the angle in again. Glentoran really defending the box well, but here's a chance for Takata to put a shot in. A cross in, rather. Takahira. Oi. Back to Rahimova. And Bremer, I think, was the target for that. It's well defended again by Loughran. Referee doesn't give a foul. Might do that time, doesn't, and as a result, chance perhaps for a breakaway. Caldwell, early, keeper's taking up a really high starting position. That's really good reading of the situation by Togashova. That's a decent ball again by Takahiro. Bad touch. Ooh! Wow. Flicked the bar. I gotta say, I thought it took a deflection off a defender there. It was a close thing, though. Mustafa thought she'd scored. Takahira causing problems again. Yeah, that's clearly a corner, isn't it? Riga aren't complaining. Mustafa again. Bremer, great vision. No flag. And a good cross. Oh, just beyond Bremer, stretching away from goal. Vance is there once more to get rid. Yes, there's some excellent Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob work by the Riga fitness coach right next to where they're taking the throw in, I've got to say. Some proper sideways running. That's what we always like to see. What would football be without weirdly exaggerated running? Good foot in. Crompton's really defended that back four well, broken things up, used the ball well too. Bremer. It's a good ball back. Oh, just that little moment of hesitation means the threat isn't gone. Cato wins the throw-in off Kerr. It's very hard to concentrate in this game when there's such an elaborate piece of warm-up being done with the subs by the fitness coach as Bremer lays it off. Decent ball back in that by Steinberger. And now Cato, oh, it's brilliant snap, got to get the shots off, she does. Good save, McKinnon. Sharply down to her left end. There was a defender just going across her line of vision. She had to be sharp to get down to it. That's a good ball, Bremer! It's in! And Bremer gives Riga the lead. In terms of balance of play, you could see it was coming. And ironically, after all those wonderful crosses from the left-hand side, it's a ball in from the right. Bremer got up superbly. Good header. McKinnon frustrated that no one is able to come round the back and cover it. But to be fair, the quality of that cross from the right-hand side was extremely good. Nicely placed header as well by the striker. So frustration for Glentoran, but it's got to be said, they have shown goal threats. They've looked good going forwards. They have worked the keeper. They have to keep at it. Cato it was with the cross, an excellent ball in, wasn't it? I just feel Glentoran, as Cato picks it up again, just needs to be careful here. Not let Riga get a bit of a grip on this now. That's good passing, that's good work by Glentoran. Clear foul, surely. Referee doesn't give it. Looks like contact through the back then. And Conway just off balance, maybe also unlucky not to get a free kick. But like I said, this Norwegian ref has been very consistent in her judgment of what physical contact is allowable. Takahira again. Oi. Good work by Moore. Just hassles her, throwing on the halfway line. High Desert Dragon on Ask UCL says, how far have these two teams progressed in the competition historically? They have both been in the competition, but again, both have not got beyond this first preliminary round. With three teams who have never got past this point, and Wrexham, who have never been in Europe as a women's team, it means that somebody's going to get into the second preliminary round for the first time. That's nicely done. Bodies in the box. Bremer's after it, too much on it. So, yeah. One of these four sides will get to the second stage for the first time ever. And that, of course, will be held in August in Denmark. Køge are the hosts. It's about 30 miles south of Copenhagen in Denmark. Yeah, that Copenhagen. As it goes down late, ref gives that. Tell you what, that was close to being in the box. Foy attacking the ball, just arriving a touch late. And she caught Cato. But that was close to being in the area, like I said. Takahira is on it. And again, Riga have got a lot of bodies right on the far corner of the 6-yard box. We're looking to sprint in, lose their markers, cause commotion around McKinnon, who, when they did this from the corner, dealt with it exceptionally well, coming through the crowd, keeping an eye on the ball, not the bodies around her, and taking it cleanly. Takahira and Oi are the players on it. So in the shadow of this impressive new stand that Wrexham are building, Takahira goes for goal. Good strike. Ref's seen something. Oh yeah, there's a push on McKinney at the far post. It was a lovely clean strike, but too close to McKinnon. He dealt with it well. And a push on the edge of the 6-yard box meant that it was all immaterial anyway. Crompton in pursuit, couldn't get there, but that's a nice idea by Caldwell. Vance now. A run down the channel, this time by Moore. Moore looks to turn Rackham over. Defender sticks to the task. She's been very good at the back, marshalling those runs. Here she is again. Vance. Riga putting pressure on the ball. Caldwell. As the intensity of the pressing has gone down, Riga have found it easier, haven't they, just to move the ball around in midfield. That's a nice little touch by Mustafa, and an early pass is a good idea by Oy, and Bremer again has no support. Oh, that's a proper tackle. Fair play, Bremer's still going. I want to see round 2 of this one. And a lucky deflection. Bremer's onside here. Can she finish? Good block. And a late challenge on Foy, I would argue. Not saying it was deliberate, but I reckon that's going to be a card, is it? Yeah. I mean, she went in with the studs up. She wasn't in complete control there, Bremer. I'm not saying she meant it, but yeah, it's the sort of challenge that really hurt. And I think the ref is absolutely right to give the yellow. So Kumba Bremer, the first player to be booked. For you will need treatment. And Riga, when they see that, are quick to come across and get some refreshment. So back to the Ask UCL hashtag. I'll get through as many as I possibly can. I have a terrible habit, Wrexham fans will know this, of asking people for interaction and then getting carried away and just waffling on about the game itself. But yes, as High Desert Dragon said, how far these teams to, yeah, one of these 4 sides will get to the second stage for the first time. It'll be a heck of a challenge for them, but it's also a heck of an opportunity. I'm not sure. Bian is asking, I'm curious if any more games will be streamed live on YouTube. If you could just give me a bit more on what you mean by that. If you mean just UCL games in general. I mean, Wrexham, I'm sure, are going to be covering our groups no matter what. Obviously, if we did manage to get through, it wouldn't be our responsibility to stream. I wouldn't have thought. But, well, I don't know. We'll have to see. Chip Pace says, have they moved me across the pitch for the entire season or just for streaming for the Champions League? Hang on a sec, Bremer's in here. Clever ball by Mustafa. Up against the last defender, she'll get the shot off! And misses. That was a big, big moment to put daylight between the two teams. Oh, she's annoyed. She's really angry with herself. She knows. That's a big, big chance. Clever hook over the top. There's no way that Loughran was going to be able to get across and stop the shot coming in, and well, She's gone to tuck it inside the post and not got it right. Foy, at least, after that challenge by Bremer, is up. Again, Mustafa trying to help it on. Cato's looked good. Miscontrolled though this time by Steenberger. Oh yeah, that question, Chip. Am I over here permanently? Well, I'm not totally sure. I think I know the answer, and it's no. But I'm not totally sure. That's a great first touch by Steenberger. Only Bremer in the middle. Players arriving now at the far post. Foy defends in their post well. Vance drilling it forwards again. Conway does well to get that ahead of Rahimova. That's good. Moore has got an option to her left. She saw it. That's great defended by Gagarin to just step in and make sure that the danger didn't progress further. Mustafa can't hang on to a good pressure by Vance, and again it's Conway being asked to hold her up. She is such a worker. Referee has got a whistle to her lips and does in the end give it against Glentoran, to the astonishment of the bench below us. Good Lord, Conway's fighting like heck. You know, from what I've seen of her previously, I like her attacking instinct, but her willingness to fight, to hold the ball up, battling the centre-backs is very impressive. Foy again gets it rid of it. Heavy touch by Cato, but here's Takahira putting more into the box. Foy, good stooping header. Awkward effort for the keeper potentially if it had just dropped by Oy, but she couldn't quite control it. But they have been on top since they scored, haven't they? Not an easy shot to take on as it bounced up at her. Decent effort. So yes, to go back to Chip's question, I mean, I'm here because we are streaming it and therefore not doing a commentary, audio commentary for EFL, in which case I'd be over on the far side and the audio is just sent across. So I'm up back with the cameras. Now, I say I'm not sure about the rest of the season. There's some talk about moving across here. I had the idea that it was going to be for the season after next. Some people at chatting today seem to think there might be changes sooner than that, but I'm not sure. That's a bit of a careless offside. Caldwell just getting ahead of the ball. And more importantly, of course, ahead of the defensive line. Oh, by the way, Mark James Live has given me some homework. I love this. Asking to explain the history of the pennant exchange by the team captains before the game. What's the history of this tradition? Hang on a sec. That's a lovely deft touch. Vance has dragged Rahimova out from the middle once more. Can she deliver? It's well covered, but a bit of time here maybe. Ball switched out to the left-hand side by Keenan. Vance again, floating it in again. It's dealt with, but at the cost of a corner. Burgermeister on both occasions getting on the end of those crosses from Vance, who, as I said, is a threat. The fourth official is waiting to show us how long will be added. That's into a good area. Keeper doesn't get there. Oh, what a scramble. Well, ultimately, Crompton just couldn't get a proper contact on it. That was a vicious delivery by Kurt. Oh, it's so just flicked her knee, and the defender did well to sit in front of it basically and protect the ball. Now keeper's come a long way, doesn't deal with it well, but gets enough on it. There'll be 2 added minutes. Promise for Glentoran at the end of the half. It wasn't technically good the way that the keeper, Togashova, got rid of that, but she got enough on it to get out the goal mouth at least and was brave in coming for it. Here's Conway winning a throw-in by the corner flag. That scrambled opportunity looked like it was going to go in, but it's not over till the talk is over. Thank you very much. I'm available for children's parties and bar mitzvahs. That's a hefty thwack up the pitch to relieve the pressure. Bremer can't keep it in. That's good persistence. Ball's still in. It's a good ball in as well. Defender trying to protect it, but Gagari was over ambitious there. There's no way on earth that Torgashov was going to be able to get across and snatch that away. So another corner. Vance this time with a left foot playing the in-swinger. And Riga have not dealt with these. Torgashov was trying to get into the crowd, but she gets there, she's not getting great contact. So here we are. That's a nice delivery in. Surely! Oh! It's a big, big chance, and it just dropped a little bit behind Moore. The last kick of the half, so nearly an equaliser, but Glentoran from these set pieces have really shown threat. It's a great header by Foy, and oh, she just can't wrap it foot enough. It does flick the top of the bar. So half-time Riga lead 1-0. Bremer's goal. But this game, it's still all to play for. A fascinating match. Riga maybe looking stronger on the ball, having more possession, putting on more pressure. But Glentoran looking sharp on the transition, winning set pieces and really threatening on them. So Wrexham? Oh, I can't get out of the habit of just saying Wrexham at the end of a half. Wrexham is the venue. There, I should have just done that and styled it out, shouldn't I? Gutted. Yeah, Riga ahead, but there's plenty, you suspect, to come in this match. Fascinating game in this massive, massive doubleheader. Join us later, of course, for Wrexham against Punic, the Armenian champions. That game, 7 o'clock local time. And yeah, that should be a fascinating test for Jenny Sugarman's side after our historic season last time out. Right, should we have a look at a few Ask UCL questions? I think it seems reasonable. I was starting to say that Mark James Live had given me some homework, and it's a good one. I am stumped by it. He says, "Hi Mark, can you explain the exchange of pennants by team captains before the game? What's the history of this tradition?" No idea. Absolutely no idea. I mean, obviously it only happens in more, shall we say, set-piece games, international games in particular. You know, when we play Cardiff in the league, we're not going to be exchanging pennants. But yeah, up in the boardroom at the racecourse, you've got nice pennants from the men's European games over the years and other games. Friendlies, often you get to exchange them. We saw it happen certainly at Krakow. Can't remember if it happened to Man United or not. But that's a very, very good question. I'm really not sure. So thank you for that. I'll get my homework done, and on Saturday I'll hopefully have an answer for you. Or maybe even tonight. There's a game tonight, isn't it? Oh, I'm loving this double header stuff. God, I can't. I was like a kid at Christmas this morning, getting up 2 games in a day. Flaming hell. What a joy. I'm telling you. Yeah, Wheelie Wrexham fans saying Glentoran will be battling in the second half for sure, I'll say. They have been really working well. Chip Pate saying Kumba Bremer didn't finish well in that last chance, but she's a proper striker, threatening. Yeah, absolutely. She's really runs those channels. She's big, she's strong, she's quick. She wants to get shots in. And Mustafa's doing quite well, I think, just drifting around her, feeding stuff into her as well. But she's one of those strikers, if you lift her over the top, she'll stretch a defensive line. She's been impressive. Chip Pate says, we have VAR today, asking for a friend. Tell your friend to worry no more. There is no VAR today, I assure you. There's a fourth official down there. I haven't seen anyone beyond the fourth official, actually, so we haven't got that huge team of officials that you often get in these international matches, because preliminary rounds of the Women's Champions League, UEFA aren't throwing the kitchen sink at it. There is a UEFA delegate here, and it has to be for all matches. You may also wonder why the advertising hoardings off, and actually if you look on the top of the first tier of the stand across from us, it's had the adverts blanked out, and also the actual name of the stand, and that's because of UEFA's advertising deals. So Wrexham's advertising deals don't apply for this match, so it's just the UEFA sponsors that are on the side of the pitch, and therefore there are no sponsors on the side of the pitch, because they're not going to be sending their sponsor signs to every single ground that hosts a match. I mean, a lot of grounds that will host these matches at this stage will be less developed than the Rock as well, so in that regard, for Wrexham fans, that is, points of reference. So yeah, they won't be, they don't go that far at this point. Plus, I mean, there won't be big crowds, to be honest, or big audiences. This game, or certainly tonight's game, with Wrexham's crazy fan base, will be by far the most watched stream of any games that are streamed at this stage. No question about that. Now then, just having a look through some other Ask Wrexhams. And where were we? Chip Pate also said, noticed the faded paint job a foot or two beyond the touchline and corner flag. What's the deal with that? How can they have moved the pitch in the first game on a new surface? Right, now then, it's not, as I know, part of what I'm going to say is factual. Some is I hope, logical supposition. The pitch wasn't completely replaced, it was refreshed. And one issue which necessitated the change was these goalposts have got sockets that you have to put the posts into. Now, Wrexham fans will have been familiar with the fact that last season our goals had weights on the back. There were two instances. One was the first game here against Hull City, when Hull scored. I called it as an amazing save. I couldn't believe Arthur Okonkwo had saved it from close range. He hadn't. The ball went in, hit the support at the back of the net and flew out so quickly that it didn't look like it had gone in, but it had. And then Alejandro Garnacho's goal for Chelsea in the FA Cup here, same thing happened, although more obviously the ball hit the support at the back and bounced back onto the pitch. Now, we don't have those nets anymore. The reason we had them last season was because the sockets were in slightly the wrong place for the size of the pitch that we wanted. So we had to use those portable goals, which have the weights at the back, so they can be used in proper matches. They're not going to move if you hit an absolute net buster that slams into the post. Those things would still stay; they wouldn't move. However, it's much better to have the proper posts that are embedded. So one big part of the change was just slightly altering the dimensions of the pitch and moving the sockets so they fitted it. So now these post goals you see now don't have the weighted nets. They are normal goals, if you will, and they are in sockets which are embedded in the goal line. So that's the reason why the lines have been moved about a yard, basically, from where they used to be. And like I said, the goal line thing, the goalpost thing is fact. The supposition part is that, as I understand it, we didn't have a complete replacement of the pitch. It was more of a refreshing. So this is essentially the same pitch as last time, but with any sort of important repairs or refreshments applied to it. As you can tell by my over-reliance on the word refreshments, I don't know anything about growing football pitches. I'm useless in the garden. Mrs. G bans me from the garden, I'm afraid. And she's quite right. When I was a teenager, I thought I'll have a go at this gardening lark, and my dad gave me some daffodil bulbs. How patriotic is that? And I planted them. That was the last we heard of. As far as I know, they're still burying their way down. No, I didn't. So my one experience of planting stuff, which put me off completely, I didn't plant them, I buried them. And Mrs. G just doesn't trust me anyway. She's proud of her garden, which is a nice sort of bee and bird friendly garden of all sorts of stuff that they can feed on. And she knows what she's doing, and I absolutely haven't got a clue. I couldn't find my hydrangeas with both hands. So yeah, that's as about. Don't take my word on stuff about this pitch. The oh gosh, yes, of course, you can see in the background, can't you? Yeah, Sherry's flag is up. I've actually put both of them up. You can see the one here, the Wrexham badge, Wrexham, the world loves Wrexham flag. Just out of view, just the other side of this pillar. Oh no, it's not, it's down at the front, yeah, just out of view. I've also put the original flag, it's USA love Wrexham flag, and I rather like, and I'm going to take a picture of this, the fact that I've put it on the Betty Buzz suite, so it's actually where old Rob and Ryan sit. For those of you who are not familiar with Wrexham, of course, Rob McElhenney, Ryan Reynolds own the club, and to my left is the Betty Buzz suite. That is the executive posh box. This all used to be a gantry, but they took half of it and put those seats in so that they and their guests could have a nice suite up here. It was massively underused beforehand. There is a nice area inside here, which during matches after time they just didn't have much going on in there at all. Some players' wives would go to watch, but it wasn't like an organised thing. Whereas now it's a proper, really nice suite in there, and that's where Rob and I will go when there's a match. Although to be fair to them both, they will get out and around and meet people as well in the crowd. They're very, very hands-on and good people, I can assure you. So yeah, that's the history of there. It also means that the last time I was up on this gantry, which was, what, over a year ago, covering Wrexham women against Britain Ferry, it was so cramped up here. There was just no room on the gantry. I had to stand behind all the cameramen trying to see the pitch. So it's nice that since then, last season, they've put in a second level. So above where we are, there is now a second level to the gantry, which means that there's a bit more room to move around and breathe, thank goodness. Oh, it's the lap of luxury. Having said that, honestly, people in football moaning about facilities don't know they're born. This is the best. Speedy Bean says, no questions, just big thanks to Wrexham for streaming the games. Riga look dangerous, can't see it ending 1-0. Will you be having company in the commentary box later? Oh, aye. So for the Wrexham game tonight, I'm delighted to say, I am going to be joined by Mia Roberts and Del Morgan, two great alumni of this Wrexham club, and that'll be a treat. So we are indeed getting the band back together. Absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, I can't play any instruments, but you know, they'll carry me. Don't worry about it. You know, they know what they're talking about, and I think you've all worked out over the course of the last hour or so. I don't. So let's having a look. Chip Pate saying, I saw in my match preview, that's on the Ask Wrexham blog. Subscribe to it. That Wrexham's opponents, Punic, essentially playing an uncompetitive 4-team league. How competitive the Northern Ireland Women's Premiership and the Latvian Women's League? Right. The Northern Ireland League, competitive. Proper league. Tough. Latvian League, less so. I would say. But yeah, it's Glentoran who gets the weekly workouts, if you will, against teams who are consistently of a similar level. Riga won every game last season in their league, if that was any help. Now, we bring these games to you thanks to the brilliant badgers who are like the most fantastic people who stream matches and are utterly brilliant. And I just heard a question in the gallery of them asking, is Mia Roberts, is that the normal commentator with the men's games? Because didn't she have a different last name? And the reason for that, I suspect, must at least in part be because I think, and I pointed out to me after we gone off air on Saturday, I think I called her Mia Williams. I think. So that's probably why there's confusion. I'm sorry, Mia. Anyway, tonight, I don't know, I'll call her Mia Dobson. Should we go Dobson? It's definitely my fault. Definitely my fault. Mustafa is coming off, the second striker for Riga. I told you I don't know what I'm talking about. As often happens, I praise a player, they get hooked at half-time. So Mustafa off. In her place is Nicola Preyere, and well, the ref wants to get underway, but Riga decided to wait for Preyere to get onto the pitch and then have a huddle. And to be fair, the Glentoran bench is still making their way across the pitch. So, yeah, she was a bit ambitious thinking that she was going to get on and get a prompt start to the half. Well, we're there now. And ready to roll. So, can Glentoran pull themselves back into this match? Here is the outstanding player of the first half, Takahira. Although those two having a battle, Foy and Bremer have got a case as well. Bremer's a nice little touch. Preyere immediately gets a first touch. Doesn't keep the ball, but Riga recover it. Rahimova. Just like the first half, it's a case of space being at a premium. Free kick given. Maybe a bit harsh considering some of the things that the ref let go in the first half, but a chance for Riga to work something here. If they've learned anything from the first half, it's don't stick it in the air, because Glentoran have been brilliant in the way they defended their penalty area when the aerial services come in. Now then, Vance, well done. Saw Oi's pass coming. Conway has ever willing runner. That's good. Still no support. She's going to have to go it alone. She's held that up brilliantly and tries to kill a pass. That's a good ball. Unlucky, unlucky. Again, nobody else had kept up. McKinney had to just lift it and hope that she could find it inside the far post. It was a good effort, but difficult execution. Ref is making sure that Riga don't waste time on set pieces. Again, Bremer isolated but unconcerned, and she's got past Foy this time. Crunching tackle, that's a brilliant challenge. Bremer stays down, definitely a clean tackle. It's great work that by Keenan. Bremer is still down. There's no need to stop play. It's not a head injury. Riga bench getting a bit aerated. I think more concerned about how Bremer is. She's up now and seems to be moving pretty freely. Vance, just took her out of the ball. Tidily done by Steinberger. Ref counting down the throw-in. First time that's ever happened at the racecourse. New rules, eh? New rules, new nonsense. Moore driving forwards has done really well. Can she keep it in? Yes, she can. Partially cleared by Gagere, but Moore will get back on that lax header. Good pressure this. Vance. Getting to the seconds well, Glentoran here. Bremer. Fully recovers. Good vision by Cato. That's a great ball. Now there's danger here. Mitani. That's Takahira take over. Testing ball in, but dealt with well by the retreating Caldwell. Takahira, the well to keep her in, but that gave McKeany time to get to her. Substitute Priera again, getting a foot in. Oid as well. That looks like a free kick to Riga, but the ref hasn't penalised Kerr. And an early ball forwards for Conway, but again, Rakhimov has really done well in that duel when it's come down to that sort of service, when Conway's tried to run on the side of it, when it doesn't matter. That's clever by Takahira. It's using their body to turn away from Moore. Gagare's pass is accurate. Bremer pops it down. Priera, good vision. And Foy's going to have to really move here. She had to take emergency action in the end. I said good vision. I don't think that was intended for Bremer, you know. There was a great run down the side by Steinberger. I think it was slightly mishead and Bremer nearly made something of it. Foy did ever so well. Bremer's pace. And like I said, Glentoran's defence maybe not super quick as well. Just nearly got caught out. Glentoran bench has seen their team start the half well, but they need to ensure they keep that back door shut as they push forwards again. Lots of players massing at the far corner of the 6-yard box. Conway on the near post marking up. And she's underneath that. Ooh, flicked off the top of her head. The back of Oi's head. Takahira the ball in. That's a good ball and a poor contact on that header. Gagare it was. It was underneath that and there wasn't a lot of pace on it. Maybe she felt she had to make the power on the header, but it was a poor contact. It was a half chance that, if not better. Now then, Caldwell. Good strength as Oi puts pressure on McKeany. That's good. There's an option down the left-hand side. Vance is trying to stretch the pitch. Ultimately, though, comes to nothing. Keenan unable to use the ball. And now again, Bremer comfortable on her own, although Keenan recovered well. Now, that's just going to keep McKeany on her toes. And there's danger now. Bremer allowed to turn. Good block by Foy. Oh, that's nice. Vance now. Conway is available. Could have played that a little earlier, perhaps. Conway made a good run and stayed onside by staying in their own half. She's got 2 in the middle, marked by 3. And support from Vance. She'll use her. Return pass a little bit lax, but Vance again. Taking on Steenberger. Good pressure this. Keenan. Come up well for the second half. Glentoran's a good ball in. Ooh. Just couldn't manage to pick out McKeany at the far post, but that was a decent ball into a good area. McKeany just couldn't get forwards enough. Again, the ref is very quick on time wasting. Cute little touch now. McKeany's in support. Moore is there. Good work by Moore. Beats Oi. Dug out a good ball in as well. Good touch by Kerr. Oh, again. Gagare, the 2 centre-backs of Riga look class. Gagare got across well, but another corner and another chance to cause problems to set pieces. Just saw a tactics board coming out on the Glentoran bench, so are they going to make an alteration? I wouldn't have thought they wouldn't want to just yet, because there's good pressure, this. Bright start to the half. Vance with the delivery, left-footed in swinger. Movement begins now into a good area. Good work by the keeper. Carr wins it back. Foy. Oh, what a scramble this is. Moore. Probably the right idea, hitting it. But a good block came in, and now Bremer will try to break away and does really well. Prayera's got Bremer in support on the right-hand side. Well, there was a player free, but great work at the back to break up the danger. Steenbergen was bursting down the right completely on her own, but Keenan did brilliantly to extinguish the danger and win the free kick. Superb work by the left back. Oh, this is a proper game, this. Glentoran, they're in here. They know this is a period of the match they can capitalise upon. They're knocking at that door. That was a hell of a scramble, wasn't it? It didn't look like sport. It looked like rugby. It's just people lying on top of a ball. Rugby, I should clarify, is not a sport. And if anyone says otherwise, well, they've embarrassed themselves. Here's Conway. Early cross is missed. Hits. Tester, and she just about gets away with it. Tug us over. She's got on the end of most things coming into the box, but they haven't been sticking for her that much. I think she was in control then as the challenge came in, but Glentoran getting closer in midfield, aren't they? Putting pressure on. And just as the diminution of the press when the energy faded in the first half seemed to favour Riga, it's no longer the case. Although here's Takahira causing issues, winning a corner, but Glentoran are really starting to get their pressing game going, get their energy up. It's good. If the referees crash hot on time, yeah, I was right. I was just about to say, referee's been crash hot on time wasting. And this is not an attempt to take a corner quickly. Different setup. All of a sudden, Riga have gone from that position on the far post to flood the near post. Short options offered, not used. And that's a good header. That's 2-0. That was a lovely delivery. Oi floated it in. And quite frankly, they changed up the set piece and it worked. An absolute treat. Good ball into the goal mouth. McKinnon couldn't come for that. Too many bodies in the way. And a real blow for Glentoran, who'd been doing so well. And it got right back in this match, but suddenly they're 2 down. The skipper, Galgare, with the header. Got up really well. McKinnon just couldn't stretch enough. Cruel, frankly, to Glentoran, who have been making a good fist of it in the second half. They're not out of it yet, but yeah, it's a big ask now, isn't it? But the big centre-back has been good at the back. Her and Rahimova have been impressive defensively, and it was a well-placed header under the bar. Now then, can Glentoran keep that energy going? Here is Moore. That's a good pass for Conway to work on, and Carr's in the middle. She's got support as well from McKinney. Down the outside, Takahira sticks to her well. Oh, it's great defending. I've got to say, Takahira's been very, very threatening going forwards. She's been very good defensively too, hasn't she? So, Riga with a grip on this tie. Prayera's done well since she's come on. Bremer does really well to get there first. She's available on the inside now. Steenbergen can't quite find her because again Foy is across to cover. Ron Wiltcan has joined us again. Says thanks very much for providing commentary early morning in Canada. My pleasure. Our pleasure to bring this game to. Hang on, that's a nice idea. And a free kick. That could be a card, frankly. Rahimova got touched tight, kicked the ball away as well. And yep, it's another yellow. Not sure if that gesture was one of an admission of guilt or dismissal. Either way, it's a yellow. So the second booking of the match, both given to Riga players. Ron, I'll come back to your question in a moment, but let's see if anything can transpire here. What's under hit? Keenan does well to make something of it, but can't find Vance. Foy again with the foot in. Loughran, that's a great ball. Loughran's had a good game at the back. Vance, nice ideas, a good run again by Conway, who's been so sharp. But they just haven't been able to get bodies up around her often enough to take advantage. So Ron's questions, firstly, is one you must have just missed me answering at half-time. Who'll be with me on the Wrexham match tonight? It's Mia Roberts and Del Morgan. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I was anyway, but they're both brilliant people to share a match with. Good touch. Unlucky. Well done, Kerr's managed to get away with it. Can I just apologise to Glentoran fans for saying Kerr and Carr, but of course Wrexham's executive director Humphrey Carr is spelled K-E-R, and I've got so used to pronouncing it in that way. But I can't pronounce it correctly now. Agogari's hurt here. He went in for a tackle with two players. Wasn't a foul, but nonetheless, it hurt. Ooh, also, did you get a chance to see the BBC piece about the commentary microphone, like the one you're using? It was very informative. Hey, Ron, send the link. I'm interested. These are called Coles mics. They're the traditional British commentary microphone. Loughran does well again, and that's a tempting pass in. Just too much on it, but it's a good idea. The idea of these is that with lip guard over the top, of course, it means that your voice is directed straight into the microphone, and even when there's crowd noise around you, it'll cut that out to a great extent. They're very good. They're very expensive. And I used to always explain to people, my understanding of it is that they're sort of they're not omnidirectional, because obviously that would defeat the point of the lip guards, but you can, if I wanted to, I could commentate into the reverse end and it'd be just as good. As that's a good ball over the top, and Steenberger's got two marked by two in the middle. Might go it alone. She looks up. Oh, she made a hash of that. This is where the cliche says I should say she couldn't make her mind up. I mean, how any commentator can tell what a player's thinking, I don't know, but certainly she had a surplus of options. I think that cutback was the right idea, but it was horribly under hit. Now then, having said that, that's a good ball in by Cato, and again Bremer is up. Good work by Loughran to jump with it, because Bremer is so physical. Kerr, nice idea, but overplayed. Glentoran have got a sub ready to come on. They're going to wait until the spell of pressure is over. Referees counting down. Okay, they scored the second goal. And the referee has stopped because Bremer has gone down again and is in the 6-yard box. But yeah, Bremer got up at the far. Oh, she's landed on that left leg and jarred her knee, I think, hasn't she? She doesn't look comfortable at all. And trying to have a chance to make the change now. Naomi McLaughlin is going to be the player coming on. Wheelie Wrexham fan on Ask UCL. Keep them coming, folks. So it's definitely a good match. Yeah, agree completely. I've really enjoyed it. As here is the change. So McLaughlin's on. Off comes McKinney. McLaughlin immediately taking up a position in the middle of the pitch. Look, have Glentoran got... No, I thought they might have gone to three at the back there for a moment. Now then, long ball over the top's asking a lot. Throw in though. Diligent work again by Vance, who wouldn't give it up. Keenan's delivery flicked on nicely. Important interception. Bremer is okay to continue. Kerr. Too much on that. Yes, going back to what Wheelie Wrexham fan said, saying the levels are close enough, it's interesting and well fought. Always nice watching matches as a neutral when both sides put in an effort. Yeah, I enjoy. Some people say, oh, if you don't support the teams, who cares? Come on, any game of football. If I'm walking past the field and there's a match on, I'm going to stop and look at it. That's a good tackle. Bremer's layoff just under hit. Certainly when Foy's around, anything in Foy's postcode is going to get kicked. It's the neighbours I feel sorry for. Foy again underneath it. Doesn't actually win it as Bremer backs in. Good cover. Just about got there. Bremer getting in the block. That's nicely worked. Good turn. Unlucky. Moore trying to help it on. And that's good vision by Oye and a good first touch as well. Helped on cleverly by Tanaka. Oh, that's good. Not the first time she's done that. Steenberger with just that little stop and then acceleration to beat the player. Moore now, only has Caldwell ahead. She has to watch the offside. Receives the ball. Just behind her. She's recovered superbly and beaten Gaujare. And that's a yellow card all day long. Brilliant work that, I gotta say. Conway, fair play, has battled against the odds. The yellow is given. Gaujare just... Well, no brainer for the ref, that. Third yellow for Riga. There can't be any complaints about that one. Oh, great turn. Careful, Glentoran. We're going to be splashing Robin Ryan's cash to after Conway. I'm just joking. I'm not. Yeesh. How to make friends and influence people. So Kerr and Vance are standing on it. Three-player wall. It'll be an ambitious shot from this distance. Vance into a good area. Bremer helping out at the back. Oh, that's a nice idea. Loughran's got a chance. Did they take a flick off a defender? No, it didn't. Loughran was adamant that it did. A Wheelie Wrexham fan saying about neutral matches. I realised this morning, it suddenly hit me, that weirdly this is not the first time I've commentated on a Northern Irish team in a neutral match at the racecourse. As Prieres put a real tester in there. That's nasty, and Bremer's pace makes something of it. And again, doesn't it, the target? But you heard the contact on that plastic seat. That'll have to be repaired. She nailed that and just missed the target. That could have been game over then. It was a nasty ball then for Keenan to try and deal with. Great strength that. Oof, what a hit. Keenan does well there, but shields it. Nah, there was a contact there, wasn't there, ref? Looked to me like Kerr was caught. Nothing given. Rahimova away. As Keenan gets slow to her feet, there's danger at the other end. Steenberger's got, again, 3 in the middle to aim for. Tries to pull back again. Pierre, little lay off. It's not accurate. Real scrap here on the edge of the area. Ooh, and that looked like a foul. That was a bit of a daft challenge, that by Vance. And this is in shooting range, surely. You know, there's a crowd of players around the ball, but Vance then, with almost an impetuous attempt to win it. She got a toe in then, and in the second time just stepped across the Riga players. Always going to be given us a foul. Again, the Riga fans chanting. And Oi is on the free kick. Might be worth a shot. Lots of moves at the far post. Oi goes for goal. Can't keep it down. Decent effort. So yeah, going back to what I said, not my first neutral game here at the racecourse for a Northern Irish team, because in the, I want to say very late 80s, oh, it's a poor pass, Linfield men's team were banned from playing in Northern Ireland because of disturbances at the matches. They had to find a venue in another country and chose us. So they played here for 2 seasons and I commentated on the games for them. Good scrapping in midfield, but ultimately Foyers to tidy up. And it was interesting because the first game was against the Ukrainian team Dnepropetrovsk. They were a tongue twister. Ulan Polisiura, the Finnish team, in the second game was not quite so bad. That's McKinnon, ooh, mishandled. Ref gives the foul. I think that's a bit generous, more of a collision, I would say, caused by the mishandle. To be fair, McKinnon has deserved, she's earned her luck. But he was lucky there. Could have ricocheted against the striker and been a goal. Pierre a bit unlucky to be penalised. She has looked good since she's come on. Nice change of feet by Loughran, working it down a line. That stayed in. Throw-in goes Glentoran's way. Glentoran still trying to get on with it, trying to get that goal that will haul them back into this tie. Oh, McLaughlin did ever so well. Lovely feet. Draws the contact from Cato. Nice, that one's in McLaughlin. Little Zidane turn. Very nice. So Cato penalised. And that's, well, I think Glentoran got first touch on that, I think, but couldn't make something of it. Pressure continues. Kerr. It's an important little foot in by Cato, who's been really hard working in the centre of midfield, just breaking things up all the time. More. Loughran, was she fouled? No. Throw goes Glentoran's way. Approaching the last 15 minutes. They need something to happen for them in the box. Flag stays down. Loughran with the awkward cross. That's a, well, they want a penalty. Goal kick given. Got to be honest, out of the 3 possibilities, I thought that was the least likely. Conway's convinced that it was a foul. It's an awkward cross in. Yeah, I gotta say, that's worth a shout. That looked to me like the reason it came off the Glentoran players because she was hit from behind. That's very unlucky. It's a clumsy challenge going in through the back of Conway. It was won a lot of free kicks with bravery and willingness to get in front of the defender, take the hit. But on that occasion, yeah, I think that is a perfectly legitimate shout for a penalty. Still, they push. Keenan with a tester. Conway gets the touch, more is unlucky. Just stretching, couldn't get power on it. Good attitude. Glentoran have certainly, although they're 2 goals down, played their part in this game. They have not given this up, quite rightly too. Takahira, 2-footed. Brima's touch doesn't quite find its target. Takahira reads that well. Shirt was pulled, but on the blind side of the ref. Linesman's helped her out. I must say, it's all very... well, I said actually, it's the 4th official possibly. I sometimes feel sorry for assistants, refs, when they don't put their flag up and people are not doing anything. Remember, they have got walkie-talkie contact. God, that's a word from the 80s, wasn't it? Walkie-talkie. But they have got contact through their headsets. So often a line will not put their flag up, but will say, yeah, that was a foul. And it looks like they haven't given anything. Orchard won that, and Vance does well. Foul given. Vance complains with some justification that the player just turned into her and ran into her. It's good close control again by Priere, and a cute touch. The liner putting the flag up straight away suggested that maybe Vance had grabbed hold of the shirt. Regardless, set piece. Glentoran hold a good line around the penalty spot. Good header, clear that. McLaughlin it was. Flag goes up and Conway challenges. Lou Hayes on Ask UCL. I can't get used to not saying Ask Wrexham. Was asked, I can't see any work in the construction area. Do they suspend work while matches are on? Yes, absolutely. There'd be a lot of safety implications, wouldn't there, if they didn't do so. Good work to win that back. Glentoran got another sub ready. Rachel Rogan will be coming on and may have a chance now because that was a clear foul. He saw the body check. So Rogan is going to come on and replace Caldwell. "12 minutes left. Moore was late. Ref plays a good advantage. Well read. Very well handled that. McLaughlin's made some nice interventions since coming on. Rogan is up front. That's a great ball. Kerr to Vance. 4 in the box to aim at. Corner. Glentoran fans encouraged. So can they haul themselves back in from a set piece? They've looked good from set pieces. Rogan often short, peels away, and then Conway does, she gets it. Early ball in is not accurate despite Rogan's game effort. Gestures of frustration on the Glentoran bench. Lou Haynes asking about the cop. So yeah, the plan is that by January, enough of it will be built for it to open up about 2,000 spaces. But it'll be completed at the end of the season. That's good work by Conway again. Putting a proper shift, as is Moore. Good challenge on Priere, who's dropped off deeper. Helping out in midfield. Foy, oh, overhit that. Steenbergen. Nice little dink, but not enough on it from Priere, but that's a good pass now. Danger here. Bremer in the middle, got between the two centre-backs. Outside of the football's a beauty, and Bremer mishits. Oh! But it goes in. And that, you suspect, will be the end of that. Unlucky that Sophie Keenan just couldn't get a foot round it enough. Bremer should have scored, in all honesty. It was a fabulous cross. Outside of the foot. Bremer looks well offside, actually, looking at that. Looks well offside. Oh, yeah. Well, they're lucky there. Bremer has a well, no, it'll go down as known goal, won't it, I suppose. Regardless who it's given, though, Bremer looks a good yard ahead of play there to me. So, Glentoran, okay, already, what, 2 down, but that really looks like they're being hard done by. Bremer, though, as we've said already in the Ask UCL chat, has looked tremendous up front, hasn't she? That's a poor pass. I can't get to it, and it's a good effort. Unlucky. More drilling it in right-footed, playing in a slightly deeper permanent role now, with Glentoran obviously having to roll the dice, bringing Rogan on up front. They need to get their press right here with a change of shape. Vance gets a throw off Steenbergen. Oh, that's nicely done again by McLaughlin. Rogan, good strength. This is good, McLaughlin. Nice idea. But another sub. Pierre is across to deal with it. That's a good ball in. Flag stays down. No, flag goes up. That was as offside as the third goal, frankly. It's a good early ball in. And a lovely touch by Conway. Tight angle anyway for her. Couldn't squeeze it in on target. Chip Pate says, I want to play Riga in the next round. I assume you're looking very firmly at the scoreline in saying that and wanting us to be in the final. Conway again. 3 in the middle. Early delivery. Oh, it's a danger here. More. Good defensive cover, that. The shot comes in. Offside flag has gone up. No corner given. Tell you what, it's early in the season for me, but I'm not spotting these deflections. I didn't see that at all. course, games on the continent are already finished. I'm seeing on the chat. Bruce McF saying, glad Wrexham didn't draw Athlone Town. Chip Peters showing that they won 4-0 against Skopje, Macedonian team. Oh, that's a good ball in, and it's there! They deserved that. Good far post header by Mocklin. And is it game back on? Be a hell of a comeback if it is, but that was a great delivery in. And Loughran got up beautifully to plant it home, similar to that second goal for Riga. But Vance with a good lofted delivery. Keeper couldn't come off the line that time. The delivery was very, very good. And there we are. Glentoran back in the game. Six minutes plus added time left. Here we go again. This is good. Glentoran really starting to turn the screw. Corner. Listen to the noise now. Late arrival in the box at the far post. As this time it'll be Vance again, floating it in nastily. Keeper hasn't got hold of it. Has it the second attempt? Woof. I'll tell you what, if that gone in. To be fair to the ref, she generally has allowed skirmishes in the goalmouth to go on, not just automatically given a foul. There'd been the odd occasion where I thought she could have given something, but ultimately I think she's been a very, very good official. Been very consistent in the amount of physical contact allowed. There's no activity on either bench. I say that. Glentoran just sent a couple of players out. Oh, and here's Bremer. Can she finish? No. Well, she had a pullback. I think you can see the reaction of Cato, who had an open goal yawning in front of it, and Bremer went for goal instead. Glentoran wasted no time with the restart, understandably. Foy out to the right. Loughran, the scorer, skins. Doesn't quite manage to skin Mitani, who's brilliant outside the foot assist for that third goal, which was offside. And that now feels a lot more relevant, doesn't it? It was decisive. Good defending. Yeah, Glentoran very quickly have got two subs ready to come on. Kitchen sink time, folks. I should be sponsored by one of these posh sort of people who do kitchen renovations, I reckon. Priere, that's a good ball. It's a good touch as well. They just about get it clear. More good touch from a nasty spinning ball, and Rogan will run onto this. Again, Rahimov was good, and again Conway hurls herself in, wins a throw, and that's superb. Now Conway's aware a quick throw is on. Don't think Rogan is, and the referee is going to stop play, which is a shame for Glentoran, but understandable. Right, Glentoran's subs have raced off the players coming off have raced off the pitch before the subs can come on. Make sure they get on then. The referee seems happy to carry on. Oh, this is strange. They got 9 players. Oh, whoa. Glentoran got 9 players. They haven't brought the subs on. And it's a good job that went out of play. The Glentoran players were so keen to make the change that the players who were being replaced, Crompton and Foy, raced off the pitch and were sitting on the dugout, believe it or not. But the ref hadn't given the go-ahead for the substitutions to happen. And so the Glentoran, by their own hand, were down to 9. That's the Riga bench who are going nuts. Quite what they're complaining about, I'm not sure. And now the substitutions will happen, and those two make the little shuttle run off the pitch once more. And coming on to replace them, a Daisy Conway. And Annie Timoney, I have never seen that happen before. That was astounding. Timoney's straight swap comes on at the back. The second Conway comes on in midfield. But that was insane. That was absolutely insane, that. Subs rolling off the pitch, no subs coming on. Prairie again. Oh, Bremer does so well to put a body in the way there. She's available once more. Good scrapping to get off her by McLaughlin. Again, Bremer's down. Not for long this time. Long one. Conway fighting away. More. McLaughlin once more. Into the last minute. How long will this ref add on? Vance. That's beautifully worked. Conway can lay it off. Oh, Rogan made a great run inside. They need something to go in now, don't they? Kerr. It's been a cracking game, hasn't it? Absolutely cracking game. That's a good ball into the near post. McLaughlin just couldn't quite get there. Bremer using her strength. Oh, lucky defending. Doesn't matter how you win the ball, as long as you win it, though. Fourth official has got the board. There's only programming it now just to build up the sense of tension. Oh, Bremer once more. Still no sign from the fourth official, who's standing with it in her hand. Great work to win it back. 4 added minutes. Well, it's been terrific, this game. Tremendous entertainment. Well-matched teams. Glentoran has shown such heart. Bremer, perhaps, the difference. But can they come back? Rogan won't get to that. Rahimova didn't get proper contact on it, but Takahira can. Riga have another change ready to be made. It's under hits. But Loughran's overhit it. Understandably, there's no rush for Torgasova to pick her up. European football back at the racecourse, and I've got to say, this has been a great return. Excellent match. And tonight, of course, from 7 o'clock. Oh, it's a bad back pass. Bremer is there. Oh, it's good work by her. And she drills it in. She will make the case for a hat-trick, won't she? Whether that second goal that she'd want to claim is given as an own goal, but that bad back pass has just ended Glentoran's brave efforts. Just under-hit horribly. And well, McKinnon was left completely exposed. Bremer took it very well. And that is a shame. That is not how this game deserves to end, as Daisy Conway's back pass is underdone. Yeah, cruel ends, but Glentoran looking to take chances, trying to haul themselves back into the match, and in the end, one chance too many. Laura Sondora's come on. Yeah, this has not been a 4-1 game. Okay, Riga looked good. They looked technically tasty. They moved the ball around very intelligently. And they've had quality on the ball. But Glentoran have asked questions through set pieces and when driving forwards. That's good from Rogan. She's fouled. Free kick. Now, from a selfish Wrexham perspective, what I want now is a mass punch-up and lots of red cards to lead to suspensions for Saturday. Another change by Riga, let's be honest. They're looking to just take chunks out of the added time, and Belova will come on. But yeah, there's been a lot of quality about Riga's performance, to be fair. But Glentoran, yeah, they've done well. Oh, Conway, that was an awkward one for her. And here comes Bremer again. Well, she can put beyond doubt whether she scored a hat-trick. Referee rightly says no penalty there. In fact, the way she went down, you almost wonder whether that was a second yellow for her. Not that I'm trying to wish a red card on people. So Belova will come on for Bremer. It's probably why she's in the middle of everything. Like I say, on a yellow, shouldn't we get a daft second one? Bremer has been spectacular. Maybe has a hat-trick. I suspect if UEFA bother to really look closely at it, they may give Keenan an own goal, although I'm sure she'd be happy to not have one against her name. And by the same token, it was going on target. But she had enough time to get around and try and keep her out. And that is the final whistle. The Glentoran players drop to the floor in frustration and exhaustion. Goodness me, Glentoran were excellent. I thought the heart that they showed was terrific. Riga showed some quality on the ball. And it's fair enough that they go through. They really did show class. But my word, Glentoran, really a team to respect there. So Riga, with a win, go through to the final. Glentoran will be playing in the third place match on Saturday. But they should be very pleased with their efforts. They should be very, very pleased with their efforts. They asked questions. Certainly, Tokasova, the goalkeeper for Riga, was kept very busy. But ultimately, there was just some quality on that Riga team. Bremer up front was terrific. Really such a threat. Foy did her very best of battle with her. It was a hell of a contest between those two. Takahiro was brilliant as well. But Glentoran showed quality too. They defended their penalty area very well until they were behind and having to take a few more risks to get up the pitch, and had to leave some gaps in the second half. Vance was a threat down the left. Kerr was full of energy in the middle. McLaughlin came on and made an impact. Loughran got the goal with the header with 5 minutes left. It made it 3-1 and was strong defensively. And up front, I mean, Gracie Conway was just terrific, I thought. Working those defenders so well as the Glentoran team get into a post-match huddle. They've come up against a good side there. There's no shame in getting beaten by a team that has got quality like this Riga team does. But they showed a lot of heart, a lot of courage, and no small amount of quality themselves. And they can now return. Of course, mid-season, like I said, it's absolutely absurd. The fixture list that they've had imposed on them means that they'll be straight back into action. What was it, 3 days? Or was it, I think, 2 days after the game on Saturday, which may mean they'll have to rotate for that much as far as they can. But it makes sense. But they've given us here in Wrexham a really good taste of what they're all about. Riga, well, they're technical, and whoever plays them in the final is going to have an interesting time. They're going to be tested by the physicality of Bremer, the quality on the ball of the midfield. Those 5 Japanese players who were all in the starting lineup are very, very impressive. And the Galgari, the captain who scored that key second goal with a header. But although Glentoran have got to accept a 4-1 defeat, they also will know that they've done themselves proud here in this great historic stadium. They have come here and they've done justice to the great name of Glentoran, a club that we are all so familiar with over here. Champions League at the racecourse. And remember, like I said, there's more to come. 7 o'clock tonight, kick-off. Wrexham against Punic, the home team. Like the men's team have a remarkable history. This is the pitch where Wrexham knocked Porto out of the Cup Winners' Cup in 1984. The pitch where Wrexham faced Anderlecht, the Belgian giants, in the 1976 quarter-finals of that competition. Such history here, the oldest international stadium in the world, and we'll be back here tonight for Wrexham against Punic, the women's first match in Europe. The men have been on such an amazing journey. Well, goodness me. So have the women. 4 years ago, playing on Ponky Banks, a field, basically. And now at the racecourse in the Champions League. And we've had such a great taster today. It's been fantastic. Glentoran and Riga put on a show. Tonight it's Wrexham and Punic's turn. The Wrexham supporters group will be in making noise. If you're looking at the end of this and in the area, get here, watch history unfold. First ever Champions League game at this great stadium. Well, night Champions League. This one's the first, isn't it? There's the Riga fans on the far side being greeted by their players. The Glentoran players have gone across as well to their band of supporters. Well done to all of them for coming across. I do hope they've had a good welcome here in Wrexham. We do pride ourselves on being good hosts. Oh, and it's a Viking clap from the Riga team and players, fans rather. I like that. Never seen it done for two people in the crowd, but I like it. Yeah. So this game ends with Riga going on to the final on Saturday to try and clinch a place in the second round of the preliminary stages of the Champions League. Join us tonight, 7 o'clock kickoff. Wrexham women in the Champions League. Can you believe it? It'll be quite something. Join us, oh my word, for a European night under the racecourse lights with a final score of Riga 4, Glentoran 1. I've been Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.